Welcome to the Vermilion Podcast, a free audio library of business strategies, creative inspiration, and industry knowledge for actors, filmmakers, writers, and anyone looking to activate their creative potential. I'm Misha Calvert, a writer-director who helps artists build the careers that they dream of. I really hope that this podcast inspires you in some way. Thanks for tuning in. I'm here with Sarah Pribis, who is just already my favorite new friend. I hope that's okay to say.
Absolutely.
And Sarah, you are an actor, a host, an influencer, also other things, business person, but I want to go with those three things. If you had 100 pieces of you, how many pieces would be actor, how many would be host, and how many would be influencer?
Wow. I would say currently it's probably 34 actor, 34 influencer. I would say that's pretty 50-50, and then whatever's left host. So they're pretty evenly split, I would say.
Do you like that?
I do. Yeah, it keeps things interesting.
Yeah. Utterly prolific. Like, I was trying to look at your content and it was like entering a universe. What gives you the energy to create so much?
I don't know. No, I've always been a really driven individual, and I love to have a creative outlet where I'm in charge of the storytelling and the narrative that's being told. And I think, I've been making content for a really long time, and that's looked a lot of different ways. And I think where I currently live in this sort of like working actor, very transparent about what it looks like to be in this industry right now, it is helpful for me. It gives me a sense of purpose. And I feel useful in some way. So I think because of those things, I'm energized to create and continue to tell my story. And because it goes hand in hand with what it is that I'm doing on a regular basis, it all just works really well together. So it's not as much of a lift as it has been in the past, where I was really going out of my way to make comedy sketches or things that, didn't blend so well.
Yeah, it's just your authentic experience, speaking truthfully, funnily, candidly.
Yeah.
If you had to summarize maybe some of the topics that you are often touching on, I know mental health is big for you, but will you tell me what if someone's trying to look at your social media content and be like, what is she about? What would you say?
I would say I share on what it looks like to be a performer trying to build a life in New York City. And so that includes everything from the jobs themselves and what it takes to get those jobs, what it looks like being on set, to financial stuff, right? So how much money you make from these types of jobs, how much money it takes to support yourself in New York City and how you budget. And then also, of course, the other aspects around that, more mental health, like you mentioned, right? So there's obviously a lot of rejection in this industry. You're basically going on a job hunt every single day, because usually once you finish a job, you're moving on to the next or searching for the next. And so talking about sort of the stamina and what it takes to do that, and just, I think one of my biggest pillars is transparency and honesty. I really want, I try to be what I wanted to see when I was first navigating this in my 20s, and what I wish people had told me.
Yeah, absolutely. So you said that you are heading off to shoot something tomorrow at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
What did you book?
It is a commercial. I won't say what it's for yet. But yeah, I'm actually driving to Connecticut, and I don't drive often. I mean, right? We live in New York City. There's really no reason to. I do not have a car, so I'm renting a car for this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big.
And we're gonna see how that goes. I'm a morning person, so I feel that I'm leaving early enough that I will avoid most traffic, and I'm trying to stay in my. I'm just taking highways, like I'm not even venturing into Manhattan.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep it safe for myself. Yeah. But so yeah, it'll be fun. It was a really fun audition process because this I will eventually be sharing. I got the audition late last week, and it was so vague. There were barely any instructions or context, and for example, the easiest way I can say is that it just said song. And then it gave me like a line to react, like, wow, that's great, something like that. And then it would say song again, and then I would have a line. And I was like, what is it? What am I doing here? What is it that they want me to do? And then I was like, well, I guess it's up to me to figure it out. So I made up a song.
Wow.
And I sang the song as my own reader off camera, like I recorded it and sang it, and then I reacted to it. And I remember my boyfriend was like watching me edit my tape. And he was like laughing, and he's like, if you don't book this, I will be shocked just for the shit. Like, it's so funny. And then I booked it. So there you go.
Was the audition anything like what the actual product is, or did they just want to see someone do something goofy?
I actually have no idea what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. And that's a lot of acting. Like, I mean, a lot of times you do get a script or you're preparing or whatever. I imagine that this is going to be fairly similar to kind of like, it's a furniture company, right?
Okay,
and I'm reacting to a new line of products that they have, I imagine. So I think it's going to be fun. From what I understand, there's fun things happening in their store or on set or whatever. And I think I'm just, but I have no idea. So we're gonna all find out together.
That's exciting. Watch you show up and it's a Mr. Beast game show.
Right? Yeah. Oh boy.
You disappear for 2 years.
You know, I'm in Connecticut.
Yeah, get your tracker on your foot, in your shoe. So, okay, there's a lot I want to ask you about. I don't drink, and I haven't for a long time. I did it not for any I didn't, have a go off the deep end or anything. I started to value my energy more, and I wanted to wake up and get more done in a day, and eventually I was like, I don't have time to be hungover.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what you want to say about a sober lifestyle, and if you identify as someone who's sober, and just any thoughts that you want to share on that. Because I'm really outspoken on the podcast of like, don't drink, don't do drugs. If you like your brain, then don't do that stuff. Just, it's like so clearly brain damaging. So anyway.
Well, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm very outspoken about being sober as well. It changed my life. It's the thing that I am most proud of.
Wow.
And I mean, I literally owe my entire career to being sober. So that's the short version. The slightly longer version is my drinking was definitely messier than what yours sounds like. Although I will also say I was very good at making it look like I had everything together. So friends and family, like when I said I had a problem and I needed to stop, were pretty surprised.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, it was sort of starting to seep through at the cracks a little bit, and there definitely were more consequences. And I 100% wasn't, getting out of my career or my life what I really wanted to. Like, I felt like a shell of a human, sort of, and that I was just like going through the motions of life, and that I was really just like living for the next drink. Even though there were all these there were amazing people in my life. I had multiple jobs. I was auditioning. Like, there was a lot going on, but I was very spiritually bankrupt. And when I finally did quit drinking, yeah, I mean, a whole world opened up to me, and look, I think there are people in my life who have a normal relationship with alcohol, and that works for them. So I won't ever tell anybody what to do, but I can offer like my own experience and just say that, like, if you're questioning it or like you think maybe it's holding you back from something, it probably is. And you also don't need alcohol to live the rest of your life. Like I definitely, it was a hard thing for my brain to grasp that like I could get married without alcohol. I could celebrate without, like, all these milestones, right? Like socialize, go to an airport and fly, like all these things that you associate. And I don't know when like the desire, the craving or whatever like disappeared, but at some point it did. And I do not think about it now. I do not miss it. I'm so happy to like have this life that I have now.
Wow. That's really, really cool, and congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's nice that you got enough critical mass that it just took on its own momentum.
Yeah.
You didn't have to try.
I mean, I do try. I try, again, it's not something I think about anymore, but that is also because I do a lot of work on myself to make sure that that stays that way.
Yep.
And I will also say that like relapse is a part of my story. So like, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't encourage it. It definitely was not fun. And like, you're not guaranteed to get sober again.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky that I'm back here. I will have 6 years this year.
Wow, cool.
But yeah, look, you can always start again. I mean, that goes for anything in life, right? You can always decide to start again.
Yes, and you're making me realize I may have a problem with work.
Oh, I definitely have a problem with work.
You know, you're in real time. I'm realizing my workaholism maybe isn't like a joke. Like, am I living for the next deadline? Yes, I am. And what happened to enjoying my coffee in the morning? What happened to enjoying the person I'm talking to?
Yeah, I get that so much. I think that will be also lifelong work for me. And I also think, I don't know, for me, right, I put down the drink or I put down whatever, and it's like a game of whack-a-mole, and I will pick up something else. And there are certainly healthier things to pick up, right? The gym or work or whatever, right? But at the same time, like if I'm looking for a solution to fix me and grabbing, like, okay, and I think it's so easy to do with for me with acting stuff, because it's like a booking is like a hit. It's like that validation that I need. So I get it. And I think last year was my biggest year career-wise. And I really struggled all year. I was kind of going in and out of finding that work-life balance. And sometimes I had to pull it all the way. Like I had to hit a period of burnout, like that gift of desperation, to be willing to do something differently. Like it had to be painful enough for me to be like, okay, well, this isn't working and I'm not having fun anymore.
Yeah. Tell me about the year that just concluded. So you said it was a big year. Can you fill us in? What does that mean?
Yeah, so I shot, I think, 4 or 5 movies. I had had some come out. So I had my first lead role in a movie.
Oh, wow.
That was like a magical experience. And so I shot it last year, and then it also came out last year.
Whoa, that's
it's a very quick turnaround.
Unusual.
It is unusual. And yeah, I filmed at least 3 other movies, maybe 4. And then I had another movie come out called Just Breathe with Sean Ashmore. And then I also did a little stint on a Tyler Perry show on Netflix. And yeah, career-wise, again, I just was where I worked, I booked, did a ton of commercials. I started working with a new social media team, who I really love, and we, worked on some cool stuff together where we were producing sort of these like vertical series. So yeah, and just all in all, it was a really big year. It was also an emotionally difficult year. My partner, who I've been with for 12 years, his mom passed like the December leading into that year. So there was a lot of that of grief starting the year. So it was just interesting finding ways to, show up for myself, show up for him, feel all of these feelings and process, and also like navigate work. My cat got sick this year. So we've been dealing with health concerns for her. So just was like, yeah, it's, even though things, and this is what I really do try to show on my channels as well, right? Like, I don't want to just show the highlight reel. I want to show that even if you're seeing that someone has all of these cool things going on, like they're probably navigating other stuff in their life as well.
Yeah. I want to talk about a movie that you did that probably no one asked you about, called Cicada.
Oh.
Because my friend Matt Pfeiffer made that movie.
No way.
Yeah, and I wondered what your role was in it.
So my role got cut.
Matt.
I know.
Bad boy.
But no, I love Matt. And that was a very cool project because I met Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang filming that.
Nice.
And our entire scene got cut that we did together.
He cut Bowen Yang out of his damn movie?
Uh-huh. So, because I remember I was following up on footage. I was trying to get that footage. I don't remember how long ago. And he had to tell me that because I was like, oh, Bowen's making it. Bowen's a big name now. It'll look so cool to have Bowen in my footage. Like, I'll be able to get a better agent or whatever. And then he was like, yes. So that we had to cut that and like reshoot that part. And I mean, that's being an actor though. So I actually worked with Matt, gosh, so long ago, at least a decade ago. On another little project that he filmed, and I'm blanking on the name right now. That's how we met. I think maybe I like submitted on some random casting. We shot that, and then, you know, he made this film, this feature, and he reached out, I don't know, it was like a day or two before he actually needed us. And if I've learned anything, it's like, if you can say yes to something, say yes. Yeah. Because you don't know who you're gonna meet. You don't know, you just don't know. I always try to stay open to just new relationships and I don't know, whatever the future might hold. And so I wasn't doing anything, or I was able to make it. And then I met Matt and Bowen were literally auditioning for SNL.
Whoa.
When we were shooting this. It was just a one-day shoot. And I remember they were telling me about that, which again, it was, so I went just to like hear that. That was so cool to me. And then Bowen ended up booking it. Matt did not. Matt's gone on to have his own career. And then I got Matt on my podcast when I had a podcast.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you get the footage from Cicada?
No, I didn't.
You still haven't gotten it?
No.
Matt, if you're listening, that is not very nice. Get her the scene with Bowen Yang, for God's sake.
Or maybe he did show it to me and it just like wasn't usable. Like it might have been like.
That's fine.
Yeah, it might have been just, and that's why they didn't use it.
Yeah.
So don't hold me to it. It was a while ago. So he may have like shown it to me and then I was like, oh yeah, no, I see why you didn't use this.
Yeah, I've been there as a director as well, because I write and direct my own work almost exclusively. And I mean, it sucks, but sometimes, you know, you just, the lighting or for whatever reason, it's like, that didn't go well.
Yeah.
But, okay, so what are the credits that people would probably associate with you if, you know, the low-hanging fruit, the big names? I saw The Purge on there.
Yeah, you know, I don't really have a lot of credits that people would associate with me. And for a long time, that made me insecure. No, I think this is important to talk about, really, because what I thought a successful actor needed to look like was this one ideal. This one, and I still sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, I'm not this, right? So it's like, you know, you're a series regular on some show, people know who you are, or you're in studio films. Okay, so we all have that idea of like what a Hollywood actor looks like. And I really have learned in the past couple of years that I am successful. Yeah. And but some people know who I am, but also this business is it's such a niche business where I was watching the Golden Globes and I realized, I was like, my mom would not know who 75% of these people are. Yeah. And these are wildly successful. Honestly, even I was learning about some of them. I've only, I don't know everyone's work when they're still doing like smaller independent films, and they've been working, right? They've been doing incredible work, a lot of theater, some of them. And, here they are taking home massive awards. And so it reminded me, I'm like, if you've won a Golden Globe, I would say you're successful, but people don't know their names, and even some of their credits probably that they would list. So for a while, this brought me, I would say that question would make me feel insecure. And now I guess the easiest thing that, and again, it's niche, would be HQ Trivia, which is more of a hosting gig, but that was such a viral moment that if you played HQ Trivia, you've definitely played with me. And then I worked on a show called Dirty John, which people may or may not have seen, but I did a scene with Connie Britton in that. And aside from that, I did a show on the CW called 2-Sentence Horror Stories. But again, like all the stuff that I've done is kind of random.
Yeah. So how do you define success? What is that metric?
For me, it's that I'm working and I pay my bills solely by being a creative. However, I also want to be very clear that if you need a survival, like another job, restaurant, whatever it may be, that also, you can be a successful actor and still have other jobs. So I'm just saying that even though I'm defining that as my current metric for myself, that is not like the metric that I would say is true for everyone. I mean,
every person, I think their measure of success is different.
100%.
Deeply individual.
Yeah.
But for you, it's just you're working and you're paying your bills from being a creative.
Yeah, and I'm fulfilled doing that. Like I take pride in the work that I'm doing.
Cool. What do you wish for in the coming 1 to 2 years?
Look, I'd love to hit more mainstream media. Like, I mean, I think the dream, to be able to develop a character over multiple seasons, it's incredible. Like that, to be able to go to set every day and see the same people and work, on developing a character. I just think like that for me is the dream. I think even a step further is, I wrote a pilot, so I have like an idea for a show. If I got to play the role that I wrote for myself, like that would be the dream.
Yeah, you have so many followers on TikTok and Instagram, and that's amazing. Like, I just tell people all the time, it's a blank slate. You can do whatever you want. People are like, ew, social media. Like, no, it's a form of creativity. So
it is. I will say that even hearing you introduce me as an influencer gave me the ick.
Oh my God, sorry.
No, but I am. I am. I've talked to my brothers about this before. It can have a negative connotation, right?
Yeah, wait, I'm trying to think of what I associate with in the negative way when I hear influencer. Yeah. Like, what does my subconscious say? It says fake or superficial or shallow.
Commercial, capitalism.
Selfish. Because I've met people that are influencers, and I think those few where the personality is so bad and they're so like mean that it just makes me associate that with everyone, but it's just not true.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like at the end of the day, if I influence, it's up to you how you use that influence, right? And so, and it's such a gift, truly. If I could, again, aside from giving advice to, if you think you have a problem with alcohol, maybe stop drinking, I would also say, like, if you have any desire to create on social media, you should absolutely do it. That has also changed my life.
Wow.
And in many ways. So, like, the first thing is that it's just given me financial stability so that I don't have to work a restaurant job. Because for me, it is preferable to work in this type of creative field. Yeah. Maybe, like, if you hate social media, like, maybe it is more compatible for you to do something else. And that's why I'm like, my metric is totally different. But for me, it's given me the financial stability to work creatively. Also, like, it's on my own schedule. It is from home, which means I can put more of my attention and focus onto tapes as they're coming in for my acting career.
Go to the gym.
100%. So
your smoothie.
I'm not reporting to somebody on their, like, it's incredible.
Yeah.
But this, and then the second thing is, you know, I don't necessarily, when I like spread the rumor that you have more followers, you can get more jobs, because I generally don't think that's true. I do think having a platform can give you visibility. And, you know, there are plenty of influencers who we don't recognize as having like a background in acting, let's say, but that does not mean that they don't, right? And I think that's like something that is really important to remember. You may know certain influencers as influencers first, and then you see that they're like trying to be an actor, and you're like, oh, that's so annoying now that, but they may have been the theater kid and been trying to be an actor first, and this is the first thing that hit. So like, I think that's important to remember. And some of these people now are, you know, they're with agencies because of their social media. They have access to auditions or tools to potentially pitch their own shows.
Book deals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it does give you visibility. I don't have so many examples myself, but I definitely, I have ended up in rooms where people, like casting rooms, where people have, the director or the casting director has been like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, I love your stuff. And then I'm like, oh, that's really cool to know, right? I feel like they're on my side. Yeah. I've also had people say, I got a text message from a casting director once, and she said, hey, I brought you in for this audition, and I want to let you know that it's because I know of you because of social media.
Cool.
So it can help.
Yeah, and also I think it crystallizes the message that you bring to the world. I mean, you weren't here 5 minutes before you were literally influencing me with what you were talking about. And I think I'm kind of hard to influence at this age, but it was very inspiring to hear you speak. And I think it's such a great way to practice your brand and, in fact, your identity.
Yeah. And
just figuring out in front of an audience, who am I, what do I stand for, and what message do I want to share? How do I want to help people?
Yeah. It can also make you it just makes you a better artist. You know, I think it's interesting because I make a certain type of content for my channels, which is obviously about me or the industry. But then I do have clients that I'm creating content for them that has nothing to do with me, you know, bread companies, spice companies, whatever. And a lot of that is actually, I'm not even in the videos. I'm just filming them and storyboarding them. And that like helps me as a filmmaker, essentially.
Totally. What are your profiles? How do we find you?
Oh, it's my name. So at Sarah Pribis, across the board, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I'm trying to build up YouTube.
SARAH.
PRIBIS.
Awesome. Well, definitely follow Sarah because I am, and her stuff is amazing. And I feel there's transmedia in the near future. I don't know if it's a book or a cookbook or a travel show or a Broadway show. I don't know, but you just have such a sparkle and vivacity to you that it's like minutes, seconds away.
I really appreciate that. One of my other goals is definitely just, again, thinking in terms of like expansion, and that you know, the way that you share yourself with the world doesn't have to look like what you thought it was. I'd love to get back into the theater space. I have tossed around the idea of like a one-woman show in my head.
Yeah.
So I don't, and then I mean, I'd love to write a book. I have so many stories, most of which I've overshared to the internet, but would be super cool to do that too.
Yeah, you have your built-in audience.
Yeah.
If you ever want to make something and have me direct it, I would be so happy to do that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. This has been such a nice conversation.
Yes, just got a job. Thank you, Sarah, for coming on. Such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone follow Sarah right now. She's great. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
The Vermilion podcast is sponsored by Vermilion, a home for artists. We offer classes, coaching, and community for creatives and innovators in the arts. If you're ready to find your voice and build the life of your dreams, we're here to support you every step of the way. Check out clubvermilion.com and schedule a free call today.